Hi, you guys. It's Tara Greenway from Beyond Your Belief. And today we are going to talk a little bit about belief systems that you might have that are holding you back in your career, in your work life. So we all have beliefs, right? And our beliefs can serve us and be our fuel, or our beliefs can, if they're negative, hold us back. And that can be kind of sobering or depressing, to know. But when you look at it as if my own belief systems are holding me back, that means that I can change them because they're my beliefs. Did you know that you get to change your own beliefs? You're adding and sort of subtracting beliefs from your life all the time. You're empowered to do this in your own life, in your own self. So today, we're going to talk about two belief systems that might be holding you back in your career. There are actually four major ones that I have sort of found and been working with lately with clients, and I'm presenting a couple of seminars on this lately. And in fact, you can join in on that this Friday if you want to. You can go to my link tree in my profile right here, and the first thing I'll say is sign up for First Fridays or something like that. And you can be a part of a private Zoom seminar that I'm doing this Friday at 12:30 Eastern for my community. But right now, just here for free, I'm going to go through two belief systems that I've found are really the absolute most important for succeeding in your work, whatever your work is. The first one is whether or not you have the belief that I value myself highly. If you don't value yourself really highly, then other people won't be able to. It's as simple as that. If you feel like you're constantly getting overlooked, somebody else always gets the job, especially I work with actors frequently. If you're an actor, you're constantly auditioning. You get a role, and unless it's, a sitcom that runs for 10 years or something, 6 weeks from now, 8 weeks from now, maybe 1 week from now, you're going to be out there auditioning for something else. So actors especially, but everyone, feel like they're constantly having to prove themselves, and they can feel like they get overlooked. Or if you don't feel like you're exactly overlooked, maybe it's a sense of being taken for granted or even taken advantage of. All of these things stem from the belief system of, I don't really value myself that highly. Some other beliefs in there might be that you feel that you have to always offer your services for really low rates. You can't figure out how everybody else is making $250 an hour doing what you can barely sell yourself at for $85 an hour, That stems from not valuing yourself. If you hate in the first place trying to sell yourself or your services, if you don't feel a sense of excitement when you're going to potential clients and be like, this is what I do. Do you want to take advantage of this? It's great. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I hate this. That stems from not valuing yourself. If you feel like you're constantly having to prove yourself over and over, all of these come from not valuing yourself. And guess what? When you value yourself highly, other people will value yourself highly too. Actors, again, a lot of times, they get they're called breakdowns that, different films, TV shows, plays, whatever, are, it's what they're looking for. So it'll be this is the mother character. We're looking for somebody in her 40s, blah, 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 blah. The, troubled adolescent, boy or girl, da, 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 da. So that's always on actors. What are they looking for? Why are they saying that themselves? What are they looking for? Because they're I'll be it. Whatever they're looking for, I'll just be that. The other thing actors say a lot to themselves is, maybe not quite so much now in this era of self-taping, but if you audition enough, you'll get called back enough, then you probably will eventually meet these people in person. And when you're doing in-person auditions, people will say, who's in there? Who's in the room? So because you're in the waiting room, waiting with all the other actors, right? And then you go in for the audition and they want to know, is it the producer? Is it the director there? Is the writer there? Is the lead there? Has the other lead already been cast and they're trying to cast someone opposite that? Who's in there? Why? Because they're trying to get in other people's head. What are they looking for? What do they want? I'll be that. I've been on the other side. I've been on both sides. I've been an actor, and then I've worked for a theater and been in casting, been sitting beside the person doing casting. And let me tell you what they're looking for when they're looking at actors, what they're looking for if they're hiring attorneys or, marketers or healers, whatever. They're looking for someone who believes in themselves, who knows their own value, and who cares about their work, and who's going to just channel the magic, That's what they're looking for. You don't have to worry about what they're looking for. You have to value yourself and open yourself up as a channel. Again, whether you're doing acting, writing, healing, accounting, being a lawyer, being a teacher, being the best janitor ever, whatever it is, you can value yourself. So do you guys want a few downloads about this? Hi, it's so good to see everybody. Marcelo and Natasha and Sandra. And anybody else that I missed. So downloads, you guys might know what downloads are. Obviously, they're the same as your computer. You know what downloads for the computer are. You can download yourself or receive a download from someone else if you give them permission from the universe. Just like with a computer, it doesn't have a certain program, you download it. So that then, it does have the program, right? Simple as that. So if you want to dive deep into this and go in and change really a lot of beliefs, I encourage you to do a one-on-one session with me. Or again, you can sign up for First Friday and come to that session that we're going to do. It's going to be about an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm going to take a volunteer for a mini session. And I'm going to be diving a little deeper into different beliefs. And we'll be changing some beliefs there. But right now, you can just take these downloads if you want. So just say, yes, I am just downloading from the universe. Just say yes if you would like to know and truly understand and feel your own value. So you see me close my eyes. I'm going to the theta brainwave real quick, connecting with the universe. So just say yes if you want that download of, I understand and know my true value. Good. And if you would like to know what it feels like and how to, and that you're willing to and deserve to believe in your own value, even if others don't seem to believe in it. Good, good, good. And would you like the download of that you know what it feels like and how to trust the universe to guide you, and also what it feels like and how to trust yourself, because you deserve your own trust. Beautiful. I've got to say, I'm being led to say that sometimes our institutions, like schools who are trying to teach you good stuff, sometimes what they unintentionally teach you is to not trust yourself, to think that you're not good enough. That's not what they meant. Sometimes it does come across that way. What your people in your life who have been educating you or trying to educate you have, what they were supposed to do, and maybe they did or maybe they didn't, was to teach you to trust yourself. If you trust yourself and value yourself, you are going to get that job. You are, if it's right for you, and you are going to be able to advance in your career and create something bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, that's the first belief system we're talking about today, that valuing yourself. Second big belief system, perfectionism. So I happen to have a lot of experience with perfectionism because I'm a perfectionist, I know, and I always thought that was a really bad thing to be. Even my sign, I'm a Virgo, and I just feel like everybody's really hard on Virgos, if I say I'm a Virgo or something, because it's not like I go around saying that, but if somebody asks me, they're like, oh, perfectionist. It just feels like the worst birth sign to be. I've always felt very put down for being a perfectionist until a great spiritual mentor of mine at one point was doing this reading on me. So this is about theta healing. This is Vienna Steibel. And the very first little session she ever gave me, she said, who told you it was bad to be a perfectionist? And I was like, everyone. Everyone's always told me to stop being such a perfectionist. And she said, you know what? Perfectionists pursue excellence and almost always achieve it. You be a perfectionist. It's a beautiful thing and you can't unbe it anyway. I love that. I was like, yes, whoever you are, be that, you guys. If you're a perfectionist, Fly that perfectionism flag. Do it. You're a perfectionist. Me and you both. Okay. We pursue excellence and we usually achieve it. So, you might want to hire me. You know what I mean? But of course, there's a downside to perfectionism, right? And that is being anxious and exhausted. At one point, I worked with an attorney and he was doing great. He was very looked up to at his firm. He wasn't overlooked. He didn't have that not valuing himself thing really. He had a perfectionism thing. And a perfectionism thing also can cause you to be not overlooked but overworked, because everybody knows, they can smell it, that you'll do anything to make things perfect. You'll do your stuff, you'll do other people's stuff. You just want to make everything perfect. And so that's the part of perfectionism that's not so great, right? We want to strive for excellence without practically killing ourselves, And so we worked on this. That attorney eventually actually left his firm where he was working literally 10 to 12 hours every day, maybe except for Sundays, and found a different firm that valued him. And when he had dealt with his perfectionistic tendencies, he was able to pursue excellence, but yet have boundaries with it. So if you are a perfectionist, you might be limiting how you can move forward, how far, how big you can get in your career, because if you're well, every detail has to be perfect and it might not be, then you might not be able to handle any more than you're doing right now. Your subconscious knows that. Your subconscious would limit it to only what you can handle, because if every single thing, if you're going to obsess about every little thing, then there's only so much you can handle. But and I'm going to give you some downloads about this, if you can pursue excellence and be in that flow and trust yourself and not have these beliefs. So here's the beliefs about perfectionism that we want you to be yourself, pursue excellence, but not have these beliefs about I have to be perfect before I can do my work or before I can be successful. You don't have to be perfect before you can be successful. My work overwhelms me. If that's a belief system you have, yes, I'm overwhelmed. Your work shouldn't overwhelm you. Sometimes it's a lot, but you're flowing through it, right? And with it, if you have a belief it's greedy to be successful, that's going to be an issue for you to get ahead. And I have to wait for others to be successful before I'm successful. These are all perfectionistic beliefs, everything has to be perfect before I can move forward. So do you know where a lot of these things are stemming from? Your definition of perfection and even your definition of success. So usually if I ask not just perfectionists, but everybody, what do you think the definition of perfection is? People say, well, never making a mistake. That kind of is what we've been told is a definition of perfection. So when I go into the theta brainwave and ask, what is the definition? I'm asking the universe, all that is, the divine, that energy that moves through all things. What is the definition? Because if we have our definition of something wrong, then we kind of have the whole thing wrong, right? If your definition of love is well, when people love me, they also always kind of hurt me, that's not the highest and best definition of love. It's always going to be messed up, if you think that, if you have that definition. If your definition of perfection is never making a mistake, then that is a little anxiety provoking. That's not the universe's definition of perfection. You know what I get every single time I ask the universe, what is the highest and best definition of perfection in the first place? I get this image of a plant growing up through a seed growing up into a plant. So you put the seed, a few inches down into dirt, and then it slowly germinates and comes up through the soil. You can't even see it yet. Finally, it comes and you can see this little green stem, right? So if you planted a rose and you watered it and made sure the soil was the right kind of soil for roses and made sure that it was getting enough sunlight and everything, and then you saw this little green shoot coming up, you wouldn't be like, that's not a rose. You wouldn't tear it up and throw it away, right? You'd be like, oh, wow, look, it's a stem. And then as it slowly gets its leaves and unfurls and then gets its little rosebud and then opens up, every stage you would be like, oh, look, oh, wow, here it is. But we don't afford ourselves that same Patience, that same definition of perfection. You can see that that flower is perfect at every stage. When it's a seed, when it's still under the dirt, it spends a lot of time in the dirt. And so do we sometimes, right? In the like chaos and confusion and the feelings. So even then, it's at the perfect place, that little seed. When it's just a little green stem, that's perfect, right? If you are right now feeling like, I'm not sure which way to go. How beautiful. You don't know which way to go. That means there's different paths that you could take. We're not here to reach some level, thousands of feet up in the air of perfection or success. We're here to be in it now, right? So I'm going to give you this download of the universe's highest and best definition of perfection so that you know that you're perfect at every stage that you are. So why is that important? So that you can accept yourself and propel yourself forward, not by rejecting yourself, but by accepting yourself, having compassion for yourself. You can motivate yourself with your soul's purpose rather than with like, don't make a mistake, And the other definition we get wrong a lot of times is success, the definition of success. So success is about being who you were meant to be, being who you mean to be, rising up into the person that you're meant to be, and then in that way, clearing a way for other people to rise up to, for other people to become their own version of success. That's what success is. It's not winning an Emmy or making $500,000 a year, or, success is being who you're meant to be. So would you like these definitions of perfection and success? I'm going to download you now from the universe. Just say yes. And this works if you're watching this recorded too. It works live or recorded. Just say yes. Definitions of perfection and success. Beautiful. And also, if you would like to know what it feels like and how, and if you deserve to be and are willing to be successful and generous, and if you would like to know, just say yes, what it feels like and how to be successful without being overwhelmed by your work and without being anxious. If you would like to know what it feels like and how to be who you're meant to be and to just flow that through you. Beautiful, you guys. So again, I think you might enjoy being part of my Beyond Your Belief community. We, on the first Friday of every month, which is this Friday coming up, November 5th, we have a free private Zoom. It's not recorded. It's actually just live, and everybody is like very real and authentic. And we really talk about what's going on in our lives. This month, I'm going to be talking about, blocks to your business success. We just quickly went over 2 of them. There's actually 2 more, almost as the best community. Yeah. And we are going to dive deeper into that. I'll do a mini session. So again, you can go to the link tree here in my profile. The first thing that should come up if you hit that link tree is join First Fridays, and you can just hit that and put your name and email in there. You can also go over to Facebook. Is that what it's called? Are we supposed to say Meta now? You can go over to Facebook and come to the Beyond Your Belief community page. It's called Beyond Your Belief, Tara Greenway. And that's where you can get the Zoom link also. So a couple of ways to join. And if you go to beyondyourbelief.com and just put your name and email in there, you'll receive the transformation toolkit. It's so chock full of goodies, you guys. I don't even have time right now to go all into it because I want to let you go. But if you haven't already signed up for that, sign up, because you'll get an email with a PDF with lots of little videos, lots of beliefs that might be blocking you from love or abundance or success. And it's just really a lot of cool stuff, okay? So anyway, there you go. Thanks for joining in, you guys. So good to see you even on my little tiny phone, and see you soon.